The object of Taxi Chronicles is to allow real riders with real stories, share their experience and enhance your life. So sit back and enjoy the journey. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have an A&R guy in the house, a young guy, strapping, strong guy, and he's going to be telling us about the A&R industry. Now, for those who didn't know, just like me, A&R means, what's it mean again?
It stands for Artist and Repertoire.
Thank you. So he's in the show already. So he's just going to tell us about what he does for a living, how he get, what a typical day is like. So tell us, why A&R?
Well, I didn't know I wanted to be an A&R, to be honest with you. I didn't know the job role existed. So 4 years ago, I was released from prison, April 2018, and I went along with my older brother to a video shoot, and there was a long-time friend. He was managing quite a successful group, Rudimental, and he just asked us to come along to the shoot. Went to the shoot. Obviously I had a certain energy about me, do you know what I mean? I wasn't trying to go back to old ways and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we had a conversation and invited me to come up to the office to have a chat really, do you know what I mean? They'd recently moved to Sony, so I went up there and he asked me, is there any roles that I liked in music basically? Or have I ever considered a role in music?
Who was asking you this?
Well, it's one of the co-presidents of the label, but he came up through management and stuff like that. But we've just known him. He's one of my brother's old friends.
Okay.
Went up to the office, and he's like, I said, I don't know about any roles in music, to be honest. You know what I mean? He just thought you're either an artist or not really. I didn't know about what people did behind the scenes. And he was just like, look, obviously, wanted to figure out a way to kind of help me out a bit. So he's like, if you just want to come up to the office a couple of days a week, get people from reception, stuff like that, get people water, whatever, do you know what I mean? Just feel free to come up, do you know what I mean? And maybe you could give me a small change. But obviously for me, I just saw opportunity, you know what I mean? When I come out, I just saw everything as different opportunities basically. And stepping into that building, I felt like this is somewhere I want to be, do you know what I mean? I just asked, after a couple of weeks, if I could sit in meetings. So I was sitting in A&R meetings, label meeting, just taking note really and kind of assessing everyone's roles.
Understanding the industry,
yeah, but also trying to figure out if and how I could fit into it. Because like I said, there wasn't really a role promised to me, but I was like, if I could see kind of something that I felt I was capable of or that I could do to a good standard, I was going to go for it basically. So I sat in A&R meetings for a couple of weeks, kind of listened, assessed everyone's roles and kind of what their responsibilities are really, do you know what I mean? And at first it was quite daunting because you think, obviously if you sign someone, you're the liaison between the artist and the label. If someone signs for $500,000, it's all good when everyone's excited, but essentially that check is on your head, do you know what I mean? You gotta help the artist turn it around. They're gonna want to recoup and do well, and on top of that, the label's gonna want to make money too. At first it was a bit, I thought, wow, that's daunting, you know what I mean? This guy's got a lot of money riding on stuff, do you know what I mean? And then, like I said, people's skills sets and stuff like that. And it came down to I kind of had to make it black and white, and I thought, you know what? Now, obviously, all due respect to all different A&Rs, everyone has their own different skill sets, way of going about different things. But for me, I was like, cool, I felt like a lot of people, what they had over me was contacts. But I trusted my intuition and irrelevance, all that kind of stuff. So after a few weeks, like I said, just listening, they were looking at for certain artists, a certain type of artist, and me coming from where I just come from, you kind of have links to everyone from lots of different areas, do you know what I mean? So I started doing a bit of market research on Snapchat, started asking loads of different people from different backgrounds, like footballers, young people, whatever, different people I knew, who the top 3 rappers were in the game right now, signed or unsigned. And one name kept cropping up a lot. And so I reached out to him.
Were they British rappers?
Yeah, British rappers.
Okay. Oh, so I see how you do that. That's quite intelligent, isn't it? Just ask the underground, what do they like? People you're on a first name basis and they work from that.
Yeah, so different people that listen to UK rap, because I'll be honest, before like jail, before that opportunity, I knew about different rappers, UK rappers and stuff, but you know, like obviously when you have peers that are doing the same stuff, you don't really idolize those people, do you know what I mean? Maybe for the youth now, there's a lot of UK rappers having quite big success, maybe older than them, so it's kind of something to look up to. But when I was younger, there was a guy from your ends that's the same as this man rapping on YouTube, do you know what I mean? So I could rate them for the rap, but I never really felt like a fan of it, do you know what I mean? But like I said, stepping into that industry, I kind of had to remove myself from that a bit, and then I asked around who everyone's favourite was. Like I said, one name kept popping up, and I reached out to him for a mutual friend, and from there I kind of got the deal done, really. Like I met up with him, he was kind of open to like discussing some kind of deal, and obviously, like I said, probably my relatability or something made him feel comfortable as well, and I just started getting the deal done. It was quite competitive at the time, but that kind of solidified my position as an A&R, because like I said, there wasn't really much room for it, do you know what I mean? They had the A&Rs who they're paying, innit? But it's like, it's anyone trying to get into it, just do the work first, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta give away some free game to get to where you want to get, do you know what I mean?
Beauty of your situation is that you may have not known the guy, but you had a common denominator, which was your friend.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of wins, assuming it all goes well. How did you feel when you first signed him?
I was over the moon, do you know what I mean? Because it felt, you know, like, do you know what I mean? When you're not doing the right stuff, even when you're having success, something always goes wrong, do you know what I mean? Whereas this time I felt like I engaged myself in the right thing, and I was putting my energy in the right places, and the results were coming quicker, do you know what I mean? And then for me to actually get that deal done, even though it took quite a while, probably took maybe best part of 6 months to get contracts finalised and the back and forths and all of that stuff. But when it got done, I felt like it was a huge achievement for me, like a personal achievement. But then, like I said, from there, that was just the start of the work. I mean, this is all for me to learn and find out. I thought, you know what I mean, you sign it, I thought people were just going to be buzzing off your name.
So what's got to happen from there? Because I assume the artist has his own music already.
Yeah, so when you sign an artist now, of course they're going to have the like, oh, I want to put this out, or I already got my tape finished. Depends who, and do you know what I mean? Everyone is different. That's another thing about the job. It's like, you're selling a product, is a human, and do you know what I mean? Or a human, somebody's art. That person has free will, that person has bad days, good days. So nothing is ever straightforward. Do you know what I mean? And especially if the artist is new to the industry, there's a lot of things and processes that they have to learn as well. Like when you're independent, you can just fling out your tunes. If it goes off, it goes off. You can do things at your own pace. When you're signed to a label and they're signing off on budgets, they need to have music ahead of time so they can give it to partners, Spotify, YouTube, all those kind of people that are going to boost your kind of exposure. They all need to have the music early to be invested in you, which means your delivery has to be a lot earlier. So you need to be a few steps ahead.
And I suppose you need to have a lot more work than if you're independent.
Yeah, I mean, really and truly, for any artist that is getting signed or that would hear this, I would say when you get signed, that's when the work starts, to be honest. And to everyone, like I said, even for me, when I thought I signed someone, I thought that's it, like my name's good. But when you sign is when you really got to get to work, because it's like, it's stepping stones, you know what I mean? And you want to get the best out of the resources that you're using. So it's like I said, there's certain procedures and steps that you have to learn about. But after signing the artist, then the first thing now is figuring out who he works best with or who she works best with. So now you have to kind of do your research on producers. Do you know what I mean? Some producers are sick at making beats, others are actually more musical, do you know what I mean? Keys and stuff like that. So it's about kind of who suits the artist, finding a studio they feel comfortable working from, whilst you're also managing the budget, you know what I mean? Not trying to spend too much.
Okay. A couple of questions there.
Yeah.
Studio-wise, are there set studios that you lot just have agreement with as a big organisation?
No, so the three main organisations, Sony, Universal and Warner's, all labels sit under one of those three. Do Do you know what I mean?
All labels?
Yeah.
Even independent labels?
No, but even independent labels will go for a distributor, and most distributors will be allocated to one of those labels.
Okay.
But not all distributors. There's still a few, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like most established labels sit under one of those houses, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for studio, I'd say like all three companies have relationships with, like, for example, we use a thing called Moloko. So Moloko, they kind of manage studio spaces. So you ring them and you ask them, like,
Oh, you got a guy living in Kent. Have you got
say,
anything
like,
near
I'm
Kent?
or a guy doesn't want to work in this certain area. Can you find me something maybe in East or in Central? Then they'll let you know availabilities. Then you let them know what kind of price range you want, and they'll find something for you if it's available on the day.
So the young people young rappers or grime or what have you, they may have that postcode issue.
Yeah,
so they say
postcode issues. Even sometimes certain studios will have multiple rooms. Do you know what I mean? There may be a nice studio, but there may be a lot of different people in and out. They might not bump into someone they directly have problems with, but someone might see them and snap them, or do you know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes catastrophic thing comes from just minor, innocent things also, do you know what I mean? Someone could just spot them on a fan thing and be like, oh, and then kind of expose where they are.
Oh, yeah.
But even people that don't have issues, they don't kind of, like, when they're in a workspace, they kind of just want to be left to it, do you know what I mean? So they might not want to be somewhere where different people are popping their heads in or trying to network or whatever, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's about finding a space that they're cool with as
With
well.
your role, there's quite a social work element to it. Then.
Definitely, because first of all, you're the liaison between the artist and the label, and the management and the label. You're kind of the bond, do you know what I mean? So if it's going wrong on the artist side, the label's asking you questions. If the label's maybe not, or the person feels the label's not kept up to certain commitments, or asking why something's taking long or whatever, you're the one that answers to it, do you know what I mean? But then on the flip side there, you need to be a person that can pick up the phone and get them in a room with a certain producer, or try to get them a certain feature if necessary. So there is a massive social aspect to it too.
Many artists complain about their contracts.
Yeah.
Do you find when you're trying to sign a artist that you have to readjust your contract?
Do you know what? Yeah, I'll be real. Like, you see me, I'm for the people, innit? Do you know what I mean? But one thing, what I would say, is never ever said, is that the artist wanted money at that time. Because no contract gets signed without a lawyer going through each point with you. Do you know what I mean? It takes like 2 hours. When it gets to the final draft, the lawyer sits with the artist, or gets on a call with the artist and the manager, and they go through the contract point by point. Commitments, money.
Is that law?
Yeah.
So that's law, that the artist someone must sit down and explain to the artist to make sure he understands.
Yeah, you have a music lawyer, and like you will be appointed a music lawyer.
Okay.
And they go through all the points with you. But like no one ever says, you know what, I needed money at the time. Now that I'm doing well, it doesn't make sense, or it doesn't feel like it makes sense. But no one ever says, brother, I needed peace. I didn't care what the contract said.
I heard that people should be wary of in perpetuity.
In perpetuity?
Meaning that, let's say, like a big organisation in the music, I don't know, let's say like IME or whatever it is, if that's in your contract, that means they own your stuff forever and eternity.
I mean, yeah, but like I said, depending on what stage you are in your career or whatever, and what you need, determines on how much negotiation power you have.
Oh, so these artists can negotiate.
Of course,
contracts.
everything is negotiable.
I didn't realise that. I thought it was just something that you'd have to take on because of the kind of industry.
Nothing is take it or leave it, like I said, and it all depends on how well you're doing at the time. So if you've got nothing going on, of course there's going to be a lot of bells and whistles attached, because at the end of the day they're taking a gamble on your potential. Do you know what I mean? So they're giving you an advance on what they think your royalties will make.
How many years have you been in this industry?
4 years now.
How would you say it's changed your life?
It changed my life massively, because obviously before this I never really had a job. Do you know what I mean? I'd done little things here and there as a teen, times when I got sent to my dad, stuff like that, but I never had a solid 9 to 5. I was confused, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How old are you now? If you don't mind asking?
30.
Okay, alright. So at least you're happy, you're focused.
Definitely, because like I said, like, I lost my 20s to bullshit. Do you know what I mean? I got nicked when I was 22. I wasn't allowed in London until my trial, so I was already kind of disconnected. Do you know what I mean? Out of the loop. Then they sent me to jail on my 24th birthday, and then I came out when I was 27, and I was like, bro, I'm on license till I'm 30. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going back.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of a decision I made for myself. But stepping into music, like I said, I didn't feel like I had many options coming out. I was going to do personal training because that's something where I relied on myself, and how much work I put in determined how much I could get out of it and how far I could take it. Do you know what I mean? I was my own brand. Then when like I said, after stepping into the building and seeing different people's roles in music, different people, like what the capacity you have to earn if you put in the work, and also the different avenues. You can be an A&R, but you can also manage something. Do you know what I mean? And the more you build up your thing, the more things you can dip your toe in it, if you can handle the workload. But it's like, it's something for me that had no boundaries. There was no ceilings, no cap to what I could earn. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of my background or my history. So that was kind of the biggest appeal to me, innit? And then, like I said, it's something that challenges me. I love music anyway, first and foremost. I wouldn't get into it if it was just for the lifestyle, the clout. Because at the end of the day, there's more hard days than there are good days. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. If you could do it all again, including your prison experience, which some people say would made you the man you are today, would you do it, or would you change anything? And if you would, what would you change?
Like I said, I feel like as much as I hated it and it took a big chunk of my life, that jail experience kind of made me, like you said, made me who I am today, and also kind of gave me a better perspective. Do you know what I mean? Made me realize what I want and what I don't want, what I'm willing to sacrifice. The amount of things I've sacrificed for nothing, basically. Why didn't I put that same kind of effort into myself and my own kind of journey? Because I don't think, unless something massive happens, or like you're saying, you lose a big chunk of your life like that, nothing really would have changed me like that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. And the fact that you had a criminal record didn't affect the fact that you were trying to get a job. I know you knew the guy, or someone knew the guy that introduced you, but do you reckon it would have if you hadn't known that person?
Like I said, if you're doing the work, they don't care.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, there was no job promised to me. There was no position for me or space for me at that label. Do you know what I mean? But I just started doing the work, but we had to kind of figure something out because I was doing something of value to them, innit? Do you know what I mean? And music, I'd say, is one of the things that it doesn't matter about your background. It's more about who you are as a person, how you conduct yourself, and kind of what you can get done. And like I said, at first, I wasn't kind of leading with that. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, as I grew closer to some of my peers and started to have colleagues and stuff, I just opened up to them about certain things. Because people used to ask me, "What do you do before music?" And I hate lying. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'd rather just be honest. So with the people that I trusted that were close to me, I was completely honest with them. Until I felt like I had enough grounds where it didn't matter if people found out my background. I didn't think they could really affect it. You know what I mean?
Do you find that people judge you for your past school?
Some people probably do, and maybe early doors, other people that I met in the industry that didn't really know me or know my character probably had their preconceptions and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Have you seen that TV TV show Power?
Yeah.
You see Mary J. Blige?
Yeah.
You know I'm gonna say it. You know her partner, the one that she ends up killing.
Yeah.
You look like him. Just a smaller version, man. Still a version. And you got that South American in you.
Yeah.
So, you know, something's going on. So, what does the future hold for you?
The future, just trying to more success, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to continue building on what I've already started. Trying to expand. Obviously, I want a few artists that I'm working with I want to really break an artist. You know what I mean? So those are kind of it's kind of long-term and short-term goals. I want to break an artist, kind of build a legacy. Do you know what I mean? I want to be known as like.
What's breaking an artist?
So breaking an artist is making them successful in a sense. But when an artist breaks is when, you know, like you're hearing them on radio, people that may not be even listening to that kind of music, then their name, do you know what I mean? Know their name.
And is your area strictly rap?
No. So I would say, I've signed a singer. I also signed a singer before. She's actually doing quite well now, even though I'm not longer working with her. We still got a good relationship. She's doing quite well. I'm signing another singer at the minute, Afrobeat kind of. I want to say Afrobeats, but it's not generic Afrobeat. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She can do it all, man, and she's a crazy talent. Like, you're definitely gonna hear of her at some point.
You're very happy with her?
I'm very happy with her. Like, as much as I love rap, and I feel like that's my strong point because it's kind of where I come from. I do love all kinds of music, and I appreciate like a good singer. Do you know what I mean? And I do want someone, as much as I love the rap guys, and I wanna, do you know what I mean, help guys get out of their situations, better themselves, put themselves in better situations. There's still like rap is hard work. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes a lot of money's got to get spent for guys to be getting a top 40, a top 20, a top 10.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And as much as I do want to achieve that with the rappers too, I feel like with certain singers, the international prospect of it is
More
I mean?
So there's more money with the singers.
Definitely, because there's no, like you're saying, that there may not be, there's no really censorship on what they're saying so much.
Talk about love
Yeah,
relationships.
it's about love relationships. It connects to a wider audience. Do you know what I mean? Like you're saying, you've got more chance of breaking it overseas. Like very few people in America listen to rappers from over here. Even though I feel like times are changing, and I feel like the person I'm working with at the minute definitely has capability of taking it somewhere. There's still, do you know what I mean? It's very much in a box.
Okay. That's really interesting. You've been a great guest.
Thank you very much.
My last couple of questions is, what would be your advice to someone who's trying to get into the industry of the A&R?
I would say, like I said, like as much as someone gave me that small opportunity just to step in the building, nothing was promised to me. Do you know what I mean? And no one's ever just gonna hand it to you on a plate. Like you got a lot of work, sacrifice goes into it. So if you're starting from ground zero, look up different seminars that's going on, the panel talks where they'll have A&Rs, marketing people, different people within the industry, maybe one or two influencers or whatever it is. Look up certain panels. Like I say, go to talks. Those are good places to network because all people that are doing something in music or trying to do something in music, as well as obviously the panelists who you can get their contacts. Do you know what I mean? And then find your strong point, whatever it is you're trying to do, and then start kind of do the work on a small scale for yourself. Whether you're going to be an A&R, start scouting stuff, get different A&Rs emails, send them music. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's things that you found that you're not attached to, send it to them. Because, you know, when you start hitting or you're doing something right, they're going to keep coming back to you. And there's going to be a point where they're going to have to mention where they sourced it. Do you know what I mean? Or at least it's going to kind of even prove to yourself what you're doing right or what's kind of working. Do you know what I mean? So whatever field it is you're trying to get into, I'd say just start attacking that space. Do your research, find other people maybe that work in that area. And yeah, just try and network. Go to industry events. There's a lot of panels that go on, you know what I mean, at Box Park and all these kind of places. Keep an eye out for them and start giving your time up, man.
If any artist is listening to this episode and they want to be signed, what would be your, how can they get in contact with you?
I'm on Instagram. I find most of my acts via Instagram. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, is it? Okay.
That's like, everyone has their different tools. That's why I said there's no rules to kind of do it. So other people use other channels or other platforms to find stuff. But for me personally, Instagram has been my biggest tool. Do you know what I mean? So like, I'll be scrolling. If I see something interesting, some story, I'll dig a bit deeper, check out someone's page, go check out the YouTube.
Do you want to give out your social media handle?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Escobands, ESCOBANDZ. That's it, that's my Instagram handle. That's like, you can contact me on there. There's emails in the bios and stuff like that. So just, yeah.
So you got your link to that and everything?
Yeah, I just got my email is linked to my page.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're you're interested, just hit me up, man. And like I said, nothing's ever put on the plate. Do you know what I mean? Even, so if you are there, like thinking like I need to put like, I just need a little boost, and that's gonna help my situation, or that will get me signed. Don't, even if someone turns you down or something, don't stop working. Do you know what I mean? Try put out music, even if you're just uploading SoundCloud, YouTube. Like we got like now more than ever, people have the platforms to promote themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? So use all these social media things, all these music platforms. If you have the music, upload it, because you never know, something could go off on SoundCloud and that could be your way in. Do you know what I mean? But no matter who you speak to in music, they're gonna want to see something. And if you want someone to invest in you, they need to be seeing that you're investing in yourself. And that doesn't mean spending crazy money, but just need to see the work ethic and that you're actually doing something that they can add to help elevate your current situation.
And I have to ask this.
Yeah.
I know you haven't been in the industry forever.
Yeah.
But are you finding there's more people of colour who are in the industry?
Definitely.
I don't just mean artists, I mean the people who sign.
Executives, yeah, marketing people, A&Rs, do you know what I mean? A lot more, even from when I started, there's a lot more now, and it's a great thing to see, do you know what I mean? So I'd say, like, don't be daunted or think it's some Babylon thing, do you know what I mean? Now more than ever, it's an opportunity for us to really thrive, do you know what I'm saying? And there's more of us in the industry, so reach out to people like myself or other young black executives that you see and connect with them, do you know what I mean? Because we're always trying to elevate each other, man. And it's great to see more people of colour, do you know what I mean, succeeding. And at the end of the day, I mean, our culture plays a big part in things that trend and all these kind of things, man. So it's only right that we're behind the scenes kind of adding to the ideas and the creatives and stuff, and making sure that we do justice to our culture.
I'm glad you said it. Thanks a lot for that. It's a great interview.
Thank you, man.
To our
That's
listeners,
a surprise.
that's good. To our listeners out there, do not forget to listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where we interview people from around the world who've invested in Africa, and they share their experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the opportunities that Africa has to offer. Thank you. We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day, as well as vlogging on our social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.